Hey guys, off of MudMowers today. We're going to talk about my new Cushmans. Enjoy! So I just recently picked up that blue Cushman and this green Cushman. The Cushman Trucksters. This one's about a 60s. That one's about 70s. I don't really know the exact dates because the serial numbers and everything, model numbers are missing. But let's hop right into it. So I'm gonna start out with the middle one. This is actually my Cushman Scotsman golf cart I've had for about a year now. It's a 1967. And it's got an 8-horse Briggs. Try to lift up the seat heel. You can see it down there. I actually just got done rebuilding it, so it's kind of dusty. We also made this new seat heel. Just used the old foam and the old piece of plywood. Just got some new vinyl. Came out really nice. The reason why it's kind of sitting weird is because that tire went flat. It's pretty much dry rotted and everything. I need to get a new tire for that side. And I'll probably get a new tire for this side too. This little stem, it's actually got a tube in it, actually broke right off. But I'll go ahead and start it up here because it actually runs really nice. Key down here. See, it's idling right now. It's actually really quiet, as you can hear. I also branded the brake band on it, so it's got new padding and everything. But yeah, it's got a lot more compression. Before I took it out, it had about 30 pounds, 30 psi of compression in it. Now it's got about 60, and it doesn't smoke as bad. So here's the blue Cushman I bought. I actually paid $1,100 for both of these ones, and to me it seems like a pretty decent deal. Let's go right into it. So there's actually a tailgate back here. It has Cushman on the back of it. I actually took it off because I'm going to try to fix it a little bit. It's kind of a dent. And I'm going to try to just make it look a little bit better. It's got the original Cushman tile on this side. And then it's got the original Cushman tile up here, which says Cushman. But it's actually got a different tile on this side. It's also a little bit too big because it sits kind of like that. So I need to get new tires for both the back end. I'll just get these new tires. This one seems to be pretty good. It's got this nice big headlight in the front with low and a high beam, which I put the switch in here. That's low, and that's high. You probably can't see the light changing in there, but so we got to pull this out. It's got a brake light, which I also replaced on here, and you're not gonna be able to see it, but when you push on the brake pedal, you got a brake switch in there, pressurized switch in there, so this actually lights up a bit more. And it's actually got a little clear part so you can put license plate right here, have it shine on there. I'm gonna try to find an antique, about 60s little motorcycle license plate to put on there. It's got a parking brake here, pull out and then you twist it back in. There's storage. I actually need to screw it back in, it's loose. It's got this built marine shifter on it, so this is first, second, put it in neutral. Failed. Second and then failed. This is reverse down here. So it's got this seat on here for a big OMC engine. Go ahead and pop this hinge here. Do that. Do some over here. So this is a 48 cubic inch OMC opposed twin. It's quite the engine. It's got a lot of power. I've done very few things to it, like take the carburetor off, just put it in some cleaner, and then just use the original gaskets because they seem to kind of work. I think that's pretty much it. I've kind of played off the points in here. Seems to run pretty nice. As you can see, it is opposed twin, and these heads are actually kind of designed kind of weirdly. It's similar to a Polo Magnum, where it's got jugs, which are removable right about here, but there's actually no head bolts or no head gasket. you cannot, this does not come apart except for there, and you can take the valve cover off, but the head does not actually remove from the cylinder, so you don't have to worry about blowing head gaskets. So as you can see, they got OMC written on the valve cover there. I've actually taken those off. Make sure they're in between the reasonable adjustment. It's got a mechanical fuel pump there with my makeshift gas tank back here feeding to it. I believe the original one is right up underneath here in this bed, so probably about a 5 to 10 gallon gas tank, which I'd like to find once I get rid of this. I used to have an original air filter, which I still have, that goes from here to here, but I actually like this a lot better just because it's so simple. It's a lot more effective, it doesn't have many leaking parts, so I'll probably buy a couple more of these and put them on this one and that one. As you can see, the distributor kind of leaks, and if I pull this lid off, the distributor actually has a lot of looseness in it, so I need to replace the bushing on it. It's also got a bigger alternator than what they came with. This is a homemade plate here, but the bigger one's actually fine just because it makes more power. You can see it's got the coils, and when you're over here, it's got the resistor because it does not have built-in resistors with that. That's pretty much it for the engine. Kind of leaks a little bit of oil, but that's fine. There's actually supposed to be a model number right here, but it's actually missing. Like I said, there's pretty much no numbers on this engine. And you can see it's got an oil filter, and then it's got the bell housing. The transmission is way back in there. But that's a Borg-Warner T96, I believe, 3-speed transmission. All cast iron with cast iron gears and everything. And second gear and third gear have synchronizers, so you can shift between those. First doesn't, so you gotta stop it if you're in second. You want to shift to first gear. So it's got front suspension, as you can see. It's also got back suspension leaf springs with some shocks. As you can see there, it's got a normal differential, drive shaft up to the transaxle. That's where the battery sits. It's got real drum brakes with mechanical parking brakes in both of those. The suspension doesn't really work back here. Probably need to take a couple of leaf springs out of it. But that's about it. It's the clutch pedal, brake pedal, and the gas pedal. But it kind of functions weirdly. It's supposed to be the other way, so I probably need to screw it down here sometime. So yeah, that's about it for this one. This one tops out about 45 miles per hour. So here's the green Cushman. This one's about a 70s. Because it's got these removable covers here so you can access the wiring and everything in it. That one now doesn't have all that stuff. This has also got a bumper on the front with, of course, suspension. And the back has suspension, which actually works pretty nice. If I jump up on here, as you can tell, it's got really good suspension. This one's a bit heavier duty. It's got springs and shocks. Just a lot more heavy duty, and that one's got one spring and one shock. I believe this one has a spring and a shock. The problem with this one, if I turn the wheel, it's also got a gearbox with a steering wheel. That one's just got a handlebar. If I turn this wheel all the way around, which it does have a little bit of play, but that's fine. This part right back here, if you guys can see, this is actually broken. Been rusted right out, so that needs fixed. And then probably can't see underneath here, but the frame is quite rusted. It's been used kind of harsh its whole life, so it needs some help. As you can see, this is kind of rusted. It's kind of got some homemade stuff back there. These little things kind of worn out. You know, there's some kitting up here. There's a lot more rust back here. This is the bed that goes in the green one out there. You can see it's got a couple of rust holes back here. I can put my finger through them. But it's somewhat solid. You've also got this handle here. If you actually dump this, it would just take out these little pins so this bed tilts up. And the bed also says Cushman on the back of it. Oops. Like that. You can kind of see it written there. It's got a couple of stuff in it. It's got some covers for the green one, and this is the shifter for that blue one I was talking about. Looks like someone kind of cut this out here, but I'm sure I can get that to fit back on there. So I can still not figure out why it will not do much. But if you can believe me, I had it running, and this is the choke here. You kind of have to have it pulled out for it to run because it needs a carburetor kit. I'd like to have it running so I could show you guys the hydraulic ram back here. But I guess in a future update we might work on this whole thing and get it running better. So, it's gonna take the blue one for a ride, I guess. This one starts right up. And I was pushing the clutch for whatever. There you go. So put it in full gear. Put the clutch out. This is about idle in full gear. I haven't really warmed this thing up today, so that's probably one of the problems. It's gonna be kind of hard for me to shift with holding the camera too. We'll figure it out. Second gear. Shut and go. Yeah, it's pretty fast. Brakes work really nice on this thing too. Little spider here. Okay, we're in full gear. Still needs warmed up a little bit. Popping out a second gear. You can hear the drive shaft because it doesn't have many flex plates in it, so it's kind of loud. I need to buy new ones for it sometime. But as you see, I have the clutch in. It grinds, so you have to wait till you're all the way stopped and then you can put it in first gear. So go ahead and put it in reverse. There you go. Back it up a little bit. Put it in first gear. Second gear. That's third gear. So it's kind of hard to shift while holding the camera. You see the sinkholes work really nice, and it's like downshift a second there. But I'll have a video out sometime. We pretty much hit 45 going down a hill. It's gonna be a really nice video. I just put it in neutral going down the hill here. The problem with these things, they don't have much ground clearance, so you gotta be really slow, or else you'll scrape on something. Even shut it off. I can just put it in second gear and we'll start it back up again down this hill. Might need to throw it in second, turn on the key. There we go. Put it back in gear and we'll start it back up again. Shut it off. So right out here I've got some air filters. Got the Cushman bed for the blue one. And they've got a whole box of parts in there. Some starters, some stuff like that. Some bearings, some clutches. This is a spare T96 Borg-Warner transmission. If I shift it here, No, shifts just fine. That's neutral. This one's a little bit harder. I think this is failed in second. This one should be first in reverse. See if you spin it this way. It's about failed gear now. Let's see what this one is. Okay, this is second failed gear. Yeah, that works just fine. And then way back here, everything got a spare OMC. As you can see on this one, there's a plate, which my Auto 2 don't have that. It's missing the carburetor, and that's about it. But this has also got the original starter. This engine is also pretty clean, but if I wiggle this thing, it's got a little bit of play, so it's spinning it a little bit. So I hope you guys did enjoy this video of MudMowers. I sure did. I really enjoyed these things. Can't wait to get this one back up and driving. Stay tuned for the next video. We're going to have this one out on about 5-mile road trip. So, hope you guys enjoy.